So before I jump into the content, before I start talking about this interesting scenarios which I prepared for you guys in this video, please do me a favor and destroy that like button. And to those individuals watching this for the first time, to hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Now, first thing first, this one single announcement from President Trump shook the entire market, not just only the traditional market, also the crypto market. I mean, President Trump says a 50% tariffs on the European Union will begin June 1st. The trade war is officially back, and this news impacted the market negatively. I mean, stocks started free falling, crypto started free falling, and parallelly, President Trump also announces iPhones that will be sold in the United States of America will be manufactured and built in the US, not India or any place else. If that is not the case, a tariff of at least 25% must be paid by Apple to the US, which brought the stock of Apple negative 3.02%. Not just only Apple, even Nvidia, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, you can see all are negative. Along with the indices, even cryptos are negative. So what does this mean for Bitcoin? Because we are aware Bitcoin was clearly in an uptrend before the news, and right after that a 4%, 5% drop in price. But if you monitor this price action carefully, you can see Bitcoin right now is testing a very, very important line. I mean, this horizontal trend line or the price around 105, 106,000 was looked as a very strong resistance. That's exactly where we are. That's exactly where we are holding ourselves at the moment. So if Bitcoin manages to remain above this trend line, no need to panic. I mean, in the medium short term, if we remain above 105, 106,000, this pullback could be just a temporary pullback despite the ongoing trade war, because we are aware Bitcoin in a bigger picture was also following a bullish continuation pattern known as falling wedge. I showed you guys this was our first objective, first price target around 105, 106,000. That is exactly where we previously also on resistance. I showed you with this example, right? So what I'm trying to pinpoint is that even in a weekly time frame, this area around 105, 106,000 will be very, very important for us, because remaining above that range means there is a possibility of price after some pullback to still continue with this uptrend. I mean, we are aware this horizontal trend line, previous resistance area, and along with that, even the right angle descending broadening wedge formation is playing out at the moment. I mean, Bitcoin broke out of this upper trend line, the horizontal trend line, and now the same line is being tested. So what I'm trying to pinpoint is that I just showed you this horizontal trend line around 105, 106,000 will be looked as a very, very important support for Bitcoin. So if we manage to remain above this trend line, this pullback could be just a temporary pullback, and Bitcoin after that could continue with this uptrend. But what I also want you guys to look at is the formation which we are forming at the moment. I mean, Bitcoin, yes, it has officially broken out of this 105, 106,000, and now this could be also looked as a retest. But it is not just only this right angle descending broadening wedge. It is not just only this falling wedge. It is not just only this bump and run reversal bottom scenario pointing us around 105, 106,000. We have extremely important support for Bitcoin, but even this ascending triangle. Yes, guys, this ascending triangle in the past price action resulted in a very, very bullish move once we flip the resistance into support. Resistance into support resulted in some very, very bullish moves. So in our case, since the price of Bitcoin is above this trend line, what I'm trying to pinpoint is that any sort of a pullback, but price remains above 105, 106,000 could be just a temporary pullback. But let's suppose we fail. Let's suppose price fails to hold this trend line. What in that case? In that case, Bitcoin could come back for a retest. Bitcoin could come back for a retest in between 90 to 95,000 before continuing with this uptrend. Yes, guys, I personally think if the price in the medium short term fails to hold the 105, 106,000, we could be free falling. Bitcoin could go even lower to test the support from this rising trend line, which will be in between 90,000, 95,000, just like this one here, before continuing with this uptrend, because we are aware price parallelly is also following this Livermore pivotal point theory, and after breaking out of the previous high, it usually gives us a buying opportunity. But if we look at this example, even in this example, if you look at this carefully, you can see it is not just only a breakout. There will be more sideways movement, pullback. That is part of the game. So if the price shows a continuation like this, remains around this area for a while, you can see it could be just a temporary pullback, reaccumulation type of formation before breaking out. I mean, this Livermore pivotal point theory is also pointing us that remaining above 105, 106,000 in the medium short term will prepare ourselves for a continuation in this manner. I mean, according to Livermore pivotal point theory, breaking out of the previous high, flipping that into support usually gives us a new buying opportunity. And in case of a bigger shakeout, you know, I just showed you in between 90 95,000 is where we could be possibly hitting. And why around that area? Because that is also the area where we have our monthly CPI lines lying around. I mean, around 90,000 we have the top CPI line. So since the price is choosing a direction without touching any of this trend line, there is always a possibility. There is always a possibility of Bitcoin showing a move in this manner. Ongoing trade war adding additional pressure and Bitcoin free falling towards the CPI trend line before finding bottom, before continuing with this new uptrend. So what I'm trying to pinpoint is that if the price does shows a pullback, Bitcoin does gets attracted towards this 95,000, please do not panic. That could be just a temporary pullback or a new buying opportunity, because at the moment Bitcoin, as you can see, is clearly following this rising channel or an ascending channel, where upper trend line is acting as resistance, lower trend line acting as support. So if you look at it carefully, you can see this trend line is holding us at the moment. But once the support from this rising trend line gets broken, I just showed you, we might head towards this 105, 106,000. But once this support on 105, 106,000 gets broken, then please be aware we could be free falling around 90, 91,000. Free fall around this monthly CPI, free fall around this rising trend line, and parallelly it could also mean a free fall around this Bollinger Band central line and even the bottom trend line. Yes guys, according to this Bollinger Band as well, we have broken out of the upper band, which only happens during uptrend. So any sort of a pullback, Bitcoin remaining above 100,000, 105,000 means just a temporary pullback, and then a continuation like this could be playing out. But we know even if it fails, even if the price fails to hold the support which you have around 100, 105,000, or free fall around 90, 95,000, in a bigger picture, this could be a great buying opportunity in my opinion, because we have extremely important support building above 90,000 for Bitcoin. So any sort of a pullback, just like what happened here, we will be finding additional support from this Williams alligator indicator, and price after a pullback could be showing a continuation in this manner in my opinion. Yes guys, any sort of a pullback, you can see Williams alligator indicator will be holding us, Bollinger Band will be holding us, the rising trend line will be holding us, and parallelly even the CPI trend lines, the May month CPI trend line will be holding us. So in case of doubt, I suggest you guys to simply zoom out. So guys, these were some of the quick update that I wanted to share with you in this video. If you enjoyed the vlog, then please do not hesitate to destroy that like button. And to those individuals watching this for the first time, to hit that subscribe button. And by saying this, I'm signing out until next time. Bye-bye.